Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Here is Angy Stewart from My Inner Light. Another night with you guys studying these two beautiful books. This one, Thought and Life, is almost finishing. We are today starting the chapter 27, and the chapter 27 talks about obsession. A tough title, a tough subject, but it's very important for us to study, to fully understand it, and to digest it. And then chapter 28 talk about illness, why we have it, why it happens to us. Sometimes early, sometimes late, sometimes curable, sometimes not. Why? And then chapter 29, death. So many people are afraid of death. It's like death is like a horrible thing. And in reality, it's not. It's just that transition, a transfer. We are going to leave the physical body going to the real life, to the spiritual life. But because we cannot see that person, and a lot of people don't understand what happens in the spiritual realm, a lot of people don't believe the spirits really come and they really tell us what happened there. So they are afraid of death. But there is nothing to fear. If you are a good person here, you will be a good person there. But that's the point. Are you a good person here? Are you taking care of your spirit and of your body? Because this is important too. Sometimes we take care of our spirit. We are good people, we pray, we help others, but at the same time, we don't take care of our physical body. We destroy it. Yesterday I was in the Spiritism Center and we were studying the gospel, and some people were talking about it. How we can destroy our own body, eating badly. So we have to learn how to control ourselves. Eating, imagine eating, basic thing. What about the vices, drugs, alcohol, that nowadays people think alcohol is such a blessing. It's great. They even have doctors saying a glass of wine every day will bring you very well because will make your heart to beat stronger. But then you forget that your body is a whole body. You are helping your heart, but you're killing your liver. What is that? So you're not helping. Huh? And in the end, the last chapter, Emmanuel's super smart, as always. So he doesn't end the book with death. He ends the book with love. And it's so beautiful because love is everything. Love is what unites all of us. And that's how it should be. So it's a beautiful ending. So we are very close to end this book. Amazing. And as I always say, we start a new book. So when I am finishing a book, I get so excited because soon I will start a new book. And this is a beautiful book. If you cannot buy it in your Spiritism Center, or if you live far away, people already told me you can get this book in Amazon.com. So please search for Among Brothers of Other Lands on Amazon.com because you can find it. So as we always do, we take like a few minutes just to do our initial prayer, and then make sure you have your water because the spirits will bless it, and then we can start reading the book, and we can have the comments later on. So I just invite you to close your eyes for a brief moment so we connect with the enlightened spirits. Dear God, Brother Jesus, thank you so much for another opportunity of being here together with so many friends, the ones who are with us right now and the ones who will be listening to this recording later on. Please, Master Jesus, help all of us to be connected with our guardian angels So we will be able to understand the message that the Spirit of Emmanuel brought to us. And most important, we will be able to put in practice what we will learn tonight. Thank you so much. So be it. So my friends, before I forget, we are here live through Kardec Radio. And Kardec Radio brings so many beautiful book studies. And in so many different people also. I am one, but Vanessa Anceloni is the main one, and there are so many others. And the Kardec Radio used different platforms to be able to publish all these talks. So Vanessa was mentioning how important it is for us to be able to raise some funds. So if you can donate any money, if you listen to Kardec Radio, if you think it's something good that helps you, please go to kardecradio.com, and there have all the explanations on how you can donate any amount of money to help this beautiful cause. Okay? Thank you. So let's go. I hope today I can see this panel. Many times I get so bad that I can't see anything, but let me see if I can. Oh, I can see here. I can see Carla. Hello, my friend. Carla Marquez. Awesome to see you here. Katy Liu. Hello, Katy. I can see you today. Very good. Are you here or are you in China? I never know where you are. You're a very international woman. Marilda Veiga. Hello, Marilda. Welcome, welcome. Very good to see you guys here. And if any other one just arrived, please, we are going to read the chapter 27. And you are welcome to make questions, to post comments, and I will try to be reading so we can interact, okay? So very good, let's go. Obsession. If mediumship is regarded as attunement, obsession is the inner tug-war between lower forces as they interact with one another. Obsession, therefore, is an authentic phenomenon of interaction. It does not proceed only from the so-called dead to the so-called living. Essentially, it often occurs between incarnated spirits who overpower one another by means of the invisible threads of suggestion. The process is as follows. In order for one mind to address another and make itself felt and understood, it creates images, and this precludes the need for words or action. Through the principle of repetition, a mind reaches its objective by projecting to the mind it wants to control. If the receiving mind is in attunement with the one seeking to control it, an active circuit is then formed. Later on, words of action become a part of the process to consolidate the exchange. Thus, the condition of being spellbound is established. The obsessor and the obsessed begin to live and react reciprocally upon one another. Obsessions, therefore, are not one-sided. All such situations are a process of reciprocal interchange, and the longer, the steadier, the lower images are entertained between two spirits. The stronger the obsession. Both agents stray farther from their reality to enter a lower atmosphere of exchange where they surrender to a sort of mutual fascination. There is a similarity here to that of a stone being carved. The more the chisel cuts into the groove, the deeper the marks, thus giving the image sharper and more enduring details. Another comparison can be made to a phonographic record, whose audible sounds are registered in the grooves for later playback. A mind obsessed is similar to this. It registers the orders and prompting of the obsessor, especially during sleep, when our reflexes are less under control. An obsessed person obeys almost automatically such orders and promptings, just like a passive magnetized instrument, as they carry out these psychophonic suggestions. The more we surrender to a certain idea, the more we become converted to it, and then manifest it outwardly. This explains how strange disturbances begin to take place that often appear in the form of illness or depressive conditions, afflictions, or insanity. These states can also lead to cruel deeds and death. Every case of obsession begins as a sketch vaguely drawn by someone else's thought that shows on the screen of our mind. It begins as a mere speck. Then it becomes a visible line. Much later, it is fully defined, sharply etched picture, from which we receive unfortunate demands that imprison us in the ways of darkness. It is imperative that we learn to avoid idleness, for the idle mirror of our shadowy life may become addicted to that state and detained by the power of evil. Subsequently, we will become subjugated by evil extortionists who spread their diabolical nets of misery and crime. Give new life to your mind through study that elevates the thought process and consecrate yourself to incessant service to others. This is the ideal formula so as to liberate yourselves from all forms of shackles. In acquiring blessings for the spirit and in spontaneous help to all the life forms that surround us, we will be able to reflect the higher life. Therefore, we will slowly advance from mental blindness to the glorious light of a divine vision. So very well explained. The process of obsession was very well explained and helps all of us to understand it a little bit. Because a lot of people, when talk about obsession, they have no idea what it is. So they said, oh, even in spiritist centers, imagine when people are not spiritists. They heard of spiritism, they have an idea of what it is. Oh, it's something related to spirits, but they really don't understand what it is, spiritism. But they like to talk about obsession. It's kind of fancy word. So it is important for us to fully understand what is obsession, how it happens. Because when we feel this on us, or when we kind of notice this on other people, we already understand and we can help the person to detach from it, to disconnect. So it's important for us to go little by little again so we can see if you really understood it. So let me say who arrived here. Oh, Daniela. Hey, Daniela. Daniela Stefanelli, how are you, girl? I miss you. Teresa. Hello, Teresa. You arrived too. Very good. Nice to see you, girls. I miss you. Sol Souza. Hey, Sol, you are here too. Very good. Okay. So going back to the beginning, we are reading obsession. So in the first paragraph, Emmanuel starts, if mediumship is regarded an attunement, obsession is the inner tug war between lower forces. Well, tug war, you know, is that game that you have a line, have a location like in the middle, and you have people pulling from one side, pulling from the other side, and see who is going to win. You know, you're like kind of pulling this here and there. And that's how you can imagine how obsession is. That gives you this idea. So he continues, this phenomena of an interaction. So it never happens alone. You need more than one. It's like minimum two. It could be more, but it's minimum two. And then it happens, he says, it happens frequently between incarnates who overpower one another by means of invisible threads of suggestion. But it's not just with incarnates. It's in many different ways. It could happen between discarnated beings, like spirits, and incarnated beings. It could be between incarnated to another incarnated. It could be discarnated to another discarnated, or it could be to an incarnated to a discarnated. Isn't that funny? Yes. An incarnated being could be obsession, could be influencing a spirit. Yes, it could. And sometimes people even do it in a way that's not good, and they don't even know they are doing it. For example, when someone, let's suppose someone had a grandmother that they loved very much. So they believe this grandmother is doing really well in the spiritual realm. So they pray all the time to the grandmother, asking for help. For in difficult times they are going through, whatever they are going through, they are praying for the grandmother. Grandmother, help me, please. I need to get that job. I don't know what to do. Oh, your granddaughter is sick. I need your help. So what happened is that the spirit of the grandmother, it could be doing well. Maybe it's doing well and it's like really a more elevated spirit. So she will be able to help a little bit, because we know that we are all kind of in the same level. Some spirits are more elevated, so they can help. But the majority, we are kind of very nearby. So the grandmother, she might not be in a good situation. She might actually need help. And when this person is praying for the grandmother, not praying in the sense of, grandmother, I love you. I wish you all the best. I hope we're going to meet. I want the good spirits to guide you. It's not that kind of prayer. That kind of prayer is wonderful. But is that disturb the prayer? You know, that the prayer, like that the most of us like to do that kind of prayer when we ask for help. The prayer that we always want something, not that we want to give something. So this type of prayer actually disturbs the spirit. The spirit needs to be in a better condition to be able to really help us. So this could be some time of obsession. But from spirit to spirit could be the same type of thing. So the obsession is the phenomena that one spirit influences another one in a negative way. And that's what I said, can be between spirits, between incarnated, or in the contrary. So this is important for us to understand. Another important thing is the phenomena of repetition. Is when like a spirit is influencing someone else and has this fixed idea, and it starts telling someone else. Let's suppose you are not capable. You are not capable. You are not capable. And then this person who is feeling good starts listening or having ideas or dreaming with you are not capable. And what is this sentence has to do? And this person's like, I'm not capable. And then this person will start thinking about that sentence in whatever she is doing, to work, to family, motherhood, whatever, doing a cake. Oh, I'm not capable. And then this idea starts, and this person starts, someone calls and says, oh, would you like to join us in a campaign that we're going to do this? I need to ask your help to do this, this, and this. Oh, and then the person that's listening, I'm not capable, immediately reacts, oh, I'm not capable. I can't do it. Oh, but of course you can do it. It's very easy. No, I don't feel like. I don't feel like, or it starts with other excuses. I'm busy. I have to do this. I have to do that another day. But that idea is there, like the seed, the little seed is being planted there. That's the danger. But one thing we have to understand is that for the seed to be planted there and for the seed to start growing, like a little plant, it needs water, needs sun, needs attunement, needs attunement. So when we are fine, when we are well, when we are helping someone else, when we are active, working, doing things, when we are busy mentally and physically, we don't give space to I'm not capable. Sometimes you even listen or you feel it, but you're like, oh, I'm not capable. Are you kidding me? But than me, no one else. Yes, I'm doing so much. I'm so busy. I have to do this. I have to do that. I am doing a lot, even if I'm doing a little bit, but I am doing. But there are that times that we are not feeling well. We are feeling sick. We are feeling sad. We had a problem at work, and then we start thinking, or someone that we really liked said something that hurt us, especially now in this time of politics, that it seems that the whole Brazil is like fighting among each other. It's like very painful. I don't talk about politics, but I see many friends that are fighting like crazy because they are in opposite sides and they do not know how to respect each other. They do not know how to listen and accept that's their opinion. My opinion will be different, but they can't do that. So they attack. And it's very painful. But when you have this attunement, is that when obsession can start. So this is the danger. And he starts talking about, wow, is 825? Obsession is so interesting and is so important that we have to dig a little bit deeper. It's very important for us to understand. In the next page, page 100, he talks that obsessions, therefore, are not one-sided. That's what I said. No one can obsess nothing. So to be an obsession, someone has to be influencing someone else. And then he says here, all such situations are a process of reciprocal interchange. So someone is giving ideas and someone else is accepting the ideas as truth. Maybe they are not truth, but they are kind of, yes, like the example I just gave, someone listening, I'm not capable, and the person starts feeling, yeah, I'm not capable. Yes, maybe I can't do that. Maybe I should stay home. Maybe I shouldn't go here. And so there is this dangerous attunement that can start happening. And the beautiful example Emmanuel gives is the example of the chisel. So the more the chisel cuts into the groove, the deeper the marks are. So in Portuguese we have água mole em pedra dura, tanto bate até que fura. How do we say that? Água mole, water, liquid water in a hard stone. It touches there so strongly forever. Like, for example, in a waterfall that's falling every day, constantly, all the time. That stone, little by little, will start being carved. So that's the process of obsession. The spirit is intense all the time, giving the ideas, giving the ideas. And if the person who are receiving these ideas, the obsessed, is not strong enough to react, he will start like, really, yes, it's true, yeah, I'm bad, and this and that. And that's the danger. So this is what we have to learn how to fight. We cannot allow this to happen. Susanna, hello, Susanna. River, hello, my friend. Welcome, welcome. So this process of obsession, that's the danger that starts very slowly, very subtle. And in the beginning is the simple type of obsession, just ideas, thoughts, dreams, but it can intensify with the time because the spirit, he is in a mission, so he will continue. And if the person that's receiving this negative idea is not able to fight it, there is a big danger. So that's what Emmanuel is explaining here. And then he continues. An obsessed person obeys almost automatically such orders and promptings, just like a passive magnetized instrument, as they carry out these post-hypnotic suggestions. And this is something that, obsession, there are three types. So the first one that we are talking is the simple type of obsession. It's the common type. It's the beginning, just these ideas, this influence that comes little by little and can go deeper depending on how we are receiving this. Then it can go deeper level, to a fascination level. So fascination is when the person who is receiving the ideas is almost like almost hypnotized. If it's a medium, for example, it already happened. We have stories about it. If it's a medium, and let's suppose a medium is in a Spiritist center, for example, and this medium is in the case of fascination. So this medium, instead of receiving spirits that need help, it starts receiving a lot of times one spirit, who then declares as being the spiritual guide of the medium or the center, or some kind of spiritual guide. And then this medium attunes with this spirit. So they are like very connected. And then these spirits start taking this attunement to a deeper level. And the medium is being fascinated, is being kind of blind to anyone else is telling him. Because when you are in a good Spiritist center with a good group of people that are working together, that want to help the spirits, the group notice when something starts going wrong, especially with one medium that used to receive many spirits, for example. This is just an example. And then start receiving only one. And then these spirits start giving ideas that are not very positive, ideas that are very strange. And many times when it gets very deep, then the spirits start telling the medium, this place is not good for you. You have to get out of there. You have to open your own place, or you have to work from your house, or all these people, they don't care about you. So this is like a deeper level, a very dangerous level. And if the medium is not able to break from that, if the Spiritist center, the group, is not able to help, then it's really, really dangerous. And the subjugation is the deeper level. Subjugation is already like a case that they are already in a super, super strong attunement, and it's very difficult to disconnect the spirit and the incarnated. This, I'm talking this case of a spirit and an incarnated. So the incarnated, for example, becomes almost like a puppet, becomes really like a robotic way. He obeys whatever the spirit is telling him. But this, you have to think that this is a very difficult case, a very deep case. So these cases don't happen to everyone. So if you dig deeper in this case, if you analyze deeper, it's because there are things that happened among those two people in past life, many times in past lives, that brought them together through lots of bad situations, hatred, and unfortunately, they got together in this way. But I don't want you all thinking now, oh my God, this is so dangerous. Anyone can go into this. It's like we are all risking our lives, because it's not like that. God never abandoned us. We all have a guardian angel. Can you imagine you have your private tutor with you all the time, helping you all the time? Yes, all the time. But please don't think that you go to take a shower, your guardian angel is right there, because he's not. When I say all the time, it's through your thought. Can you imagine the speed of thought? If the speed of light is super quick, imagine the speed of thought. So that's how the guardian angels work. When you think, he is right there. When you need help, he is right there. He, she is right there to help you. So we are never alone. And then Emmanuel starts helping us to see how to break this dangerous situation. Then he goes, it is imperative that we learn to avoid idleness. Idleness. For the idle mirror of our shadowy life may become addicted to that state and detained by power of evil. So idleness is a danger. It's a danger. I know a lot of people who say, oh, I have nothing to do this weekend. I'm so bored. I just watch TV the whole day. And I'm like, my God, really? It's not possible. There are thousands of things for us to do. Thousands of things. Even when we are in our home, there are so many things to do. I'm not even talking about physical things, because we all have to clean, we all have to wash, we all have to cook. But we can also be productive. We can read a book. We can do so many things in the internet nowadays. You can do universities in the internet. You can study languages for free on YouTube. Actually, YouTube nowadays, Google, whatever you want to learn, you can learn. So there are so many things that we can always do. And we have to think also that's important, not to just do things for us, but it's always important for us to do something for others. Charity. Charity is the connection with love, and that's what helps everything. So when we talk about idleness, you have to think, how can I be more active? We can always be active. We can always do something. But it's really beautiful when we can do something for someone else. We can always do something for someone else. We don't need to do big projects of charity. We can even say good morning in our building. My son's birthday was yesterday. So he completed 14 years old. Yeah. And when we arrived home, had signs all over the corridor, our door, the elevator had big signs. Happy birthday, Jensen Stewart. I was just like, who did that? I thought it was super cool, but I had no idea who did that. And then my husband said, the security guys, they love Jensen. And I'm like, this is true. So it was so cute. That was their way of demonstrating happy birthday to them, being happy because there is a nice person who says hello, who is able to be friends with anyone. So we can do this. We can also do it. I always say that nobody escapes from my elevator. because you are in the elevator with me, you will talk to me. I'm the elevator positive obsessor. But one good example that I can give too is that my parents, they were Catholics and they became Spiritists like 3 years ago. And I did the gospel with them for many years, teaching them how to do. So we did over the internet. And for quite some time, the page talking about charity opened. And then my mother one day she said, "That's so funny. I think our book is marked, or the page is we open too much this page because only this page comes." And I told her, "Mom, I don't think so. I think maybe this is a message from the spirits telling you that you should do more charity." And she's like, "But we do." I'm like, "You do?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What?" "Oh, well." And then she was thinking she couldn't really realize what she did. And anyway, so passed, and I told them many ideas of how to be charitable with little things. You don't need a lot of money. Remember the message of Jesus when he saw the widow that gave just few cents, and then Jesus told the disciples she gave more than anyone. And then the disciples were like, "No, Master, I'm so sorry. You probably didn't see the other guys who gave lots of gold coins." And Jesus said, "No, she gave everything she had. She had so little and she gave everything." So this was a charity. But anyway, my parents called me yesterday to say they went to listen to a lecture on prevention of cancer. And the people from the cancer in the little tiny city they live in the middle of, in the border of Goiás and Mato Grosso, they said, "We are struggling because we have no money from the government and we have a lot of poor people affiliated to us and we would like to donate medication, but we have no money." And then my mother said in that moment she felt so strong that she should do something, that she just raised her hand and she said, "I can cook a dinner and we can sell tickets." And then the people were like, "Wow, that's a great idea." And then they said, "Well, but we can't do it." And she said, "I will do it in my house." And they were like, wow, overwhelmed. Anyway, so what happened? She offered to cook dinner for 10, 20 people. And then I gave her ideas of involving more people in the city, talking to neighbors. They are cooking right now to 100 people. So this is a blessing. This is a blessing. Occupy their minds. Now they are occupied going from one place to other, meeting neighbors, collecting donations, and they will cook together with people they never saw before or they never had the opportunity. And they will sell tickets to buy medication to poor people who suffer from cancer. So this is a blessing. So if a person who is sick, because as Emmanuel said here, sometimes these types of obsessions, they happen more often when we are sick, when we are tired, when we are angry. So that's when this type of things happen. But if you are involved in something, especially to help someone else, because when you are helping someone else, the guardian angel of that person is watching you, is inspiring you. And the spirits who love that person, they are watching you and they are happy with your help. So can you imagine when you help one person, how many other people will wish to help you too? How many other people will pray for you? So this is a blessing. We can't see it physically, but this is a blessing. So this is one way for us to prevent obsessions, is when we are active, doing something positive, and especially when we are helping someone else. So the last paragraph, as always, summarizes everything from the chapter. And the last paragraph says, "Give new life to your mind through study that elevates the thought process and consecrates yourself to incessant service to others." So we have to be active, physically doing something for others, studying, whatever I already explained, but also in our mind. So if you are a spiritist or if you are a religious person, study, try to understand more. If you're a spiritist, there are hundreds, thousands of beautiful books that can enlighten us, that can help us to understand what we cannot understand right now. The codification of Allan Kardec, the more than 400 books of the medium Chico Xavier, and so many others. So he continues, this is the ideal formula, so as to liberate yourselves from all forms of shackles, in acquiring blessings for the spirit and in spontaneous help to all the life forms that surround us. We will be able to reflect the higher life. Therefore, we will slowly advance from mental blindness to the glorious light of a divine vision. So this is beautiful. So like this, we end the obsession chapter. And it's so beautiful, so enlightened, and very, very helpful for us to understand a little bit more about obsession. Let me see if anyone wrote anything here, because I always forget. Carla, do you remember the book Between Heaven and Earth? Odilia and Zumira, yes, so many books, so many beautiful books. There is that book also, what's the name of the book in the Portuguese? In Portuguese is Libertação. Libertação in English, Liberation, I think it's Liberation. There is the spirit of Gregorio, that Gregorio used to be a priest when he incarnated, and then he dies, and he is like the king, almost like a king of a very dark location, where he is the boss of hundreds and hundreds of spirits that are doing bad things on earth. So they are obsessing lots of incarnated and discarnated, because he also obsesses spirits to make them like their own slaves. So that book is absolutely beautiful. If you can read it, it's absolutely beautiful. And as Dr. Alberto Almeida always says, who comes to save Gregorio? A woman, his mother. So his mother is a spirit that all the time loving him, loving him. And finally, after years, she's able to break this hatred, and she's able to take him to be helped. It's so beautiful. I remember crying so incessantly. So if you can, please read this book, Redemption, and Redenção in Portuguese is absolutely beautiful. Let me see here. Your neighbors, my neighbors. What my neighbors? I don't remember. Yes, I notice people around us. Yes, I think this was about the comments before. Rosa Santiago, welcome, Rosa. How are you? Hipólito Rebolo, hello Hipólito, welcome back. I'm happy you're here. Hello everyone, blessed night. Yes, blessed night. Liberation, yes, Liberation. Liberation, yeah, it's an amazing book. Yes, it's an amazing book. There are so many amazing books. So please do not be idle. Work, study. We have this wonderful opportunity, so we cannot waste it. We have to be always active, and if possible, helping someone else to be active too. And as I was just mentioning about being charitable, remember, if you are here in Miami and you would like to participate of loving bags for the homeless, please send me a message, send me a Facebook message, email, text, anything, because we are together collecting items to be able to distribute to the homeless in Miami and maybe in Fort Lauderdale on December 9th. It will be a blessed opportunity to all of you, even if you are not in Miami, but you would like to send a donation of an item, I can give you my address. Or if you want to donate the money, I can give you my apps, Cash App, PayPal, whatever. Just ask and I will give. So let's go now to gospel. And we are starting chapter 2 today. So chapter 2. So I said I was going to start doing a little bit of a summary, so we don't need to read so much. We can have a summary and read the most important things. So my kingdom is not of this world. I will read because this is very important. Then Pilate, returning to enter the palace, and having made Jesus come to him, asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus responded to him, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my people would have fought to prevent my falling into the hands of the Jews. But my kingdom is not here." Pilate said to him, "Then you are a king." Jesus replied, "You have said it. I am a king. I was not born, nor did I come into this world except to bear witness to the truth. Whoever belongs to the truth hears my voice." So this you can find on John 18:33. Beautiful passage that Jesus is talking to Pontius Pilate. And then number 2 talks about the future life. So he's talking about future life all the time. All the time. It's almost like his doctrine, his teachings couldn't exist if you could not believe in future life. Because he's always mentioning, my kingdom is not of this world. So my kingdom is from another world, the spiritual world. So the future life, the spiritual life. And as spiritists, we understand the spiritual life is the real life. So we are all here for some time, but we leave Earth and we will go to a spiritual realm. And depending on our level of evolution, we will come back to Earth or to another planet more evolved. Or if we are not behaving well, we might even go back to a planet that's less evolved than Earth. So the number 2, it actually talks about this, talks about the spiritual life, the future life, and explains that for us to be able to understand Jesus and his teachings, we have to really understand that he's always talking about the future. Because if you think about just that moment, if you cannot understand anything besides Earth, you wouldn't be able to understand Jesus' teachings. So this was number 2. And then number 3, number 3 starts. The Jews had only very imprecise ideas regarding future life. They believed in angels, whom they regarded as the privileged beings of creation, but they did not know that human beings could someday become angels and share in their bliss. So this is like the Jews, they had an idea of angelitude, for example, the angels, that they existed, but they thought they were like special beings created like in this special way, and they couldn't really understand very well. So in their minds, if you follow the scriptures, if you follow the law, if you behaved well, good things would happen for you in this life, in this incarnation. So good things would happen to you. They did not understand that we have to do good here, and maybe good things will not happen to us here immediately. It depends, but it will happen in our future life, because we are building our future, our spiritual life. And in the same way, that's when they fought the calamities. They were punishments of this life. When you behave bad, something bad will happen to you in this life. And number 3 also talks that Moses couldn't say everything because the spirits, most of the spirits in that time, they were shepherds. They didn't really have like a mind that was developed enough to understand the teachings. So Moses had to be very strict. He had to show a God that the people would be afraid of it, so they would respect it. When the Jesus came, many, many years had passed, the people were more developed, a little bit more developed. So Jesus was able to tell us many other things. So Jesus started planting seeds that didn't exist until that time. Talking about forgiveness. What? Forgiveness? In Jesus' time, it didn't exist. This was rare. People really, the stronger was the best. Like you feel sorry for someone and you being good, this was like rare. So Jesus was teaching them, this shouldn't be rare, this should be the majority of us doing good, forgiving, give the other side of your face. If someone attacks you, do not do the same. But Jesus also couldn't say everything, because imagine Jesus being this being of light. No, let's do something else. Let's imagine the eclipse. You know, we had an eclipse here in Florida last year, and you needed to buy special glasses in order to see the eclipse. If you didn't have the special glasses, you wouldn't be able to see it. And I lost, I don't know what I did not buy the glasses. So I was using the technique that you look through a picture on your cell phone. And I was seeing the little tiny thing, it was really nice. But a charitable soul decided to give me his glasses. And I put it and I looked. I was mesmerized. I was able to see the whole moon and earth. And it was absolutely beautiful. So when you compare this idea to Jesus' time, it's like this. Jesus is pure light. He could not show us this light because we would be blind. So he could not tell us the absolute truth because we wouldn't be able to understand it. So he told us pieces that he thought we would be able to understand better. But he promised the consoler was going to come back and was going to stay with us. And the consoler is Spiritism. So Spiritism is with us. And the Spiritism is able to help us to understand what Jesus couldn't. Why? Because the spirits are coming back from the dead. So a lot of people say, oh, I don't believe in life after death because spirits, because people that I know never returned. Well, maybe the ones you know never returned, but the spirits are coming all the time, and not just in spiritist centers, everywhere. There are mediums everywhere, in every religion, in every type of society, in every country. But in Spiritism, it's easier for us because we have this more organized. We all understand and we all believe it. So it's better for us. It's clear. It's not something occult that can be dangerous and we are all afraid of it. No, it's something common, simple, that we all study and we all understand it. So we know the spirits, they come and they tell us their sufferings. If you ever had opportunity to participate of mediumistic meeting, lots of the spirits, they come to the mediumistic meeting to tell their pains and sufferings, crying, and they tell what they did wrong. And then they say they want to change, they are suffering. So these are examples for us. So for us to see it and like, let's change, because we don't want to be like that. We want to help them, but we want to help ourselves too. So we have to change right now. So when we pass to the spiritual life, we are not going to be suffering like them. So this is very important and is very concrete in this piece here. And then we go to number 4, the kingship of Jesus. This is beautiful too, because when, the people who know me, they know that I absolutely love the castles in Europe. I love it. Oh, before I go, let me read here. So Rosa Santiago from Chicago. Hello, Rosa from Chicago. That's awesome. Isn't Chicago the windy city? Very, very good. Welcome. River, charity. You give too little. When you give from what you have, uh, when you give yourself, you receive more than you give. It's absolutely true. We can give it just a little bit, and we will always receive much more than what we give. Much, much more. So Silvia Beltrán Otero. Hello, hello, Sylvia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here discussing the gospel now. So number 4 in chapter 2, kingship of Jesus. So I was saying that to people who know me, I love castles. I am hypnotized with castles. I don't even know why. A friend of mine reached to an idea that she thinks is that maybe I was a builder. I built the castles, because when you think about the monarchy in that time, not nowadays, in that time, was so much suffering. Everyone was suffering. The rich people suffered because they couldn't take their own decisions. When you think about women in that time, they couldn't marry whoever they wanted. They were obligated to marry whoever the father wanted. The husbands also, the princes, they also had to marry someone else because of interest. And the poor people, forget about the poor people. Oh God, it was tough. I love it. I don't know why. But this portion here of kingship of Jesus talks that when you are a king on earth, your kingdom is perishable very quickly. As soon as you die, that's it, done. And you're not gonna, maybe you're not gonna even be remembered. How many kings and queens in our earth passed? In so many countries, in so many little countries, there are so many little kings. Nobody even knows them. But when your kingdom is from other realm, like from Jesus, it's really powerful, and it will stay forever. So we don't even need to talk about the kingdom of Jesus only. But let's think about the people, men and women, who did amazing acts of a charity, for example. They are remembered forever. They are remembered from the incarnates and also from the discarnates. So this is the real kingdom. That's the kingdom that stays. And there is a sentence here that that's beautiful. So let me just read this sentence. So it talks that the earthly sovereignty ends with life. Moral sovereignty continues to govern, especially after death. From this aspect, is Jesus not a more powerful king than many sovereigns on earth? It was with a good reason, therefore, that he said to Pilate, I am a king, but my kingdom is not of this world. So he also has a beautiful piece that says, influence the progress of humankind. So these are the kings that really are special, that they influence progress of humankind. And the kings or prince or of philosophers, artists, poets, writers, and so many good men and women that we had as examples on earth. Like if we talk about women, we can even talk about Mother Teresa of Calcutta. She did so much. She was such a tiny woman, and she did so much for so many people. So we have to think that we can always do something, even if we are not famous. Don't do something because you want to be famous, you want to be popular, you want to be something. Do something from your heart because you want to help another soul. So when we are doing something from our heart, even if it's very little, this will help someone else. And the better thing is even when you inspire someone else to do the same. Or even better, when you get together with many people that think alike you, and you get together to do a positive thing, to do a good cause. There are so many causes around the world. Just join one of them. join one of them, and do not be idle. Be active. And if it's possible, be charitable, because this is what will help us to progress faster. This is what's going to make us better people. And this is what's going to make us, to bring us away from any kind of obsession, as we studied in the previous book. So my friends, it's 10:02. I just wanted to finalize our study of today. And I would like to invite all of you now just to close your eyes for a few seconds while we do a prayer. Okay? Dear God, beloved Master Jesus, our guardian angels, thank you so much for another beautiful opportunity of being together, studying, being inspired by our mentors, understanding deeply what we studied tonight. Now we all understand what is obsession, but better of all, we understand how to be away from it, how to help the spirits who need light. Let's pray for them. So at this moment, we would like to send light to so many spirits that are obsessing others at this moment, because they lack of light, they lack of love, they lack understanding. But one day they will be able to forgive, and they also will be receiving and feeling peace and love. Thank you so much, and so be it. So my friends, it was awesome as always. I'm very partial because I always love the studies. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited, and as I told you, if you have the opportunity to buy this book, Among Brothers of Other Lands, we will soon be starting this book, because next week we will start chapter 28 of Thought and Life. 28 is illness, and the book has only 30 chapters, so it will be just more 2 chapters to finish it. So please buy the next book, start reading, so when we start the study, you already know it and you can make great comments, and it's going to be much more exciting. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a blessed night, and if you want faith of a loving bags, just drop me a message. Mwah! Have a great night. Bye-bye.